We are live, guys, out here on a nice, beautiful day. Let's take a lay of the land. You will see that it is a nice, pretty, sunny day out here. Beautiful views as always. And we're going to be out here trying to catch some of those spotted bass. And as you look around, you see that there are no clouds in the sky. And from experience, what that means when we've been out here, it might be a tough one, maybe. We'll see, we'll see. And another thing you guys can't really see is that I am kind of hiding away from high winds right now in this kind of out of the being shielded by this island that I'm hiding behind. But out there on the lake that I just came through, it's kind of rough out there right now. You really can't even tell, but the winds, I would guess the winds are maybe 15, 20 miles an hour, something like that. A little bit of white cap going on. But let's get started. The lay of the boat. Everybody wants to see that quick boat tour. So I am running a Nitro Z20. There we go, Nitro Z20. And at the front of the boat, I am running an Ultrex trolling motor. You see this right here has me spot lock, which means it's holding me in place right now. And I have a Mega 360 over here on the side. Up front, I'm running my live imaging, which is also connected to the trolling motor. That is on a Helix 12 G4N unit. And I'm running my Mega 360. Kind of looks like a radar screen right there. That is on a Helix 10 G2N unit. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the back. What is pushing this boat? I'm running a Mercury 4-stroke 250 horsepower motor. And I have 2 shallow water anchors. Those are Minn Kota talons on the back. At the console, I have 2 units. I have a G3N 10-inch screen right here. And over here, I'd have my Helix G3N 9-inch unit. And I have that over here on the seat right now. I don't have it mounted right now. But that's pretty much the lay of the land. You see up on the deck, I have 4 spinning reels and 2 bait casters that I'll be focusing on for today. Then I have a back here and another shaky head just in case. So let's go over here and get started on some of these laydowns. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you could tap the like button as you come into the chat. We're gonna start off throwing a shaky head. Let me show you guys what this shaky head looks like. A shaky head is just a artificial worm on just your basic jig head, and that's it, with a hook on it. Nothing special about it, but something simple that tends to work a lot. So I have some laydowns over here. Laydowns of those trees coming into the water. So we're just gonna cast right into those. See if we have any fish hanging around the outside edges of that. All right, what's going on, Nate? Checking in from Ontario. Good to have you in the chat. We have Henrik checking back in, says good morning. All right, and if you guys could, as you come into the chat, please go ahead and hit that like button and just introduce yourselves in the chat. We're gonna be out here for maybe about an hour or two and see what we can do. Hopefully we'll get a few fish to the boat. I know you guys like playing the guessing game. I guess we'll start calling that Bass for Cash is once we get the sponsor deal rolling with that. You guys will be able to win prizes and things like that. But for now, I guess we're just practicing with the guessing game. We're gonna get some fish to the boat. I'll put them up on a measuring board and let's get that right in the middle of that laydown. There we go, good cast. All right, so I'll hold those up on the measuring board so you guys can get a nice look at the fish and see if you can guess the weight. Then I will put it on the scale and we'll get the official weight and see who is able to guess the closest weight. And that's how we play what we're calling the guessing game, but that is going to be called Bass for Cash once we get everything set up and rolling. All right, let's see. Joe Winkler says, was going to try out my boat. Finally got it back together, but with 30+ mile-an-hour winds kept me back in the shop. And I know exactly what you mean, Joe, because on my way out here, I was kind of getting beat up again. And what I was explaining just a minute ago, if you take a look around, the waters look nice and calm right here. Look nice and calm. But if you take a look out there, let's see. I probably can't even zoom in on it enough. But the water's a little rough out there. You can kind of see the current coming around from the side of that island. But yeah, it's a little rough once you get out there in the main lake area. All right, so we're just fishing a shaky head right now. See if we can get some quick action off of a laydown, which doesn't seem like it's happening. right, let's see. So yeah, as you guys come into the chat, like I said, please take a quick second to hit the like button. It really does help the channel. We have been growing very, very fast, guys. I think we're about to hit 12,000 subscribers. So 12,000 of you guys have found this content and have some enjoyment in it. And I try to make sure I bring value every time I come out here on the water, whether it's showing you guys my electronics, whether it's showing you the baits, rods, reel, things like that I'm set up with. And we also do live tournament formats that a lot of people seem to enjoy. So we have a lot of things that I hope bring value to you guys while we're out here on the lake. Oh my goodness, hold on, wait a second. What has just happened? We have Joe Winkler hit the channel with the $20 super chat. Really, really appreciate that, sir. Really appreciate the strong support of the channel. Let's see, what does Joe have to say? Does this come along with some type of challenge? Let's see. He says, 20 says you can get a 3-pounder before you give up today. Oh my goodness, Joe, a 3? Man, I just got here. You're putting the pressure on me. I'm only gonna be out here for maybe an hour and a half. So now I may have to change up my strategy real quick. Let's see if we can get that 3-pounder to the boat. So that's more than likely, it would need to be a 3-pound spotted bass, because that's what I'm targeting for today. And you guys know a 3-pound spotted bass is a very decent sized fish. A lot of the fish that I generally catch out here are in that 2-pound, 2+ pound class. But of course, they do have those 3 and 4-pound spotted bass out here. They actually have 5-pound spotted bass. That's my actual, the best one that I've caught out here was a 5-pound, 11-ounce spotted bass. All right, Joe. All right, Joe. We're going to see if we can make it happen. What's going on, Ernest? Ernest says, Money, watching you while waiting for squirrels to move around my property. You know the rest of the story. Uh-oh. What are you hunting the squirrels with? Are you using a 22 or are you using a BB gun? Pellet gun. What do you got? What kind of action you have going on over there? All right, that wasn't a good sound when your bait hit your trolling motor. I think at least it didn't hit the graph. All right, so we're just fishing this laydown right here. I'm just throwing it in and out and kind of working it through those branches. See if we can get anything to come up and take a bite. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Like I said, make sure you take a quick second. Oh man, I thought that was a fish, but it was a log. It was a branch. Let's see if I can shake it loose. Or do I have to go and get it? Looks like I'm gonna have to go and get that one. All right, so yeah, we have a nice little run of laydowns over here. We'll fish a few of these for you guys that like that shallow water bite, some shallow water action. We'll see. All right, so I had to come over here and get this out. Got hung up in here, guys. And I see my bait right there. Got my bait back. What's going on? We have Clint Perry checking in. Good to see you back in the chat. There we go. Ernest says a powerful crossfire sighted pellet gun. Oh yeah, that's the best way to do it right there. That's the best way to do it. And I grew up shooting pellet guns. Pump action pellet guns, those little lever action pellet guns, all that good stuff. I mean, they have some things now as far as pellet guns go that are competing with real caliber rifles, like those 22 caliber pellet guns and things like that. And I'm guessing that's probably what you're using. All right, Joe Winkler says that would do them, Ernest. Oh yeah, that'll get them. What's going on, Greg? How are you doing? Shout out to Joe Winkler. He is the current sponsor of today's live stream. He put up $20. He said he wants to see a 3-pounder. A 3-pounder. I'm just tossing a shaky head into these laydowns right now. The But you guys know what we're gonna be doing in just a minute. We're gonna go out there and hunt for some of those 3-pounders. But you never know, there's a chance I may run into a nice largemouth fishing these laydowns. We'll see. What does the day have in store? What's going on, Chauncey? Good to see you in the chat. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button while you're in the chat. I see we're sitting at about 15 likes, so it's inching up. You guys are coming in. Likes are moving along a little slow, but they're moving. They're moving. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. All right, Chauncey says he hit the like button at 16. He is like number 16. Really appreciate that, Chauncey. Always tuning in, getting active in the chat, supporting the channel. Good to see you back. What's going on with that BFL schedule for next year? You going to be fishing the BFLs? And did you fish the regionals? I know they just finished up a regional over there at Santee Cooper. What's going on, Greg? Greg, tap that like button for me. Really appreciate that. All right, let me show you guys something that I just set up over the weekend that I was wanting to come out here and test out. Let me show it to you, and let's see in the chat if you guys know what this bait right here is called. It's kind of an odd looking creature. Can you see it? Just a simple looking stick bait. What is that? It actually has the name on the top, so I won't turn it that way so you can see it. That's it. Does anybody know what lure this is? Wyatt says it's a walking bait. That is true, but what brand of walking bait? You guys know I have actually 3 different types of top wall. Whoa, my goodness, that thing casts far. I have this on 10-pound braided line. And that's going to 10-pound, either 10 or 8-pound fluorocarbon line. And I have that tied on there with an Alberto knot. Greg said, it's a grub. Wyatt says a Strike King. No, sir, it's neither one of those. But it is a walking bait. But does anybody know what brand? Let me show you guys one more time. So this is the bait right there. It is a walking bait. Henrik says it will be in the description below if I know MoneyBass. And you know what? I'm slacking. I'm slacking today because I did not put it in the description yet. So what I will do, and that is what I always mention to you guys. Somebody said Berkeley. I don't know. Is this a Berkeley bait? I don't know if this is a Berkeley brand or not. I don't think so. I don't think this is a Berkeley brand bait. But appreciate that, Hendrik. You did remind me. Let me go ahead and drop that in the description for you guys real quick. Just in case anybody is interested. And what I do in the description of these videos is I always try to put information in there that will provide value for you guys. All right, hold on one second. Let's see. Telemarketers, always. Let's get rid of that. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm just going into the description of the video real quick, and I'm gonna add that information in here. So just bear with me. We're out here for a nice day of fun in the sun. There we go, check out that view. Nice scenery out there. See how the water just kind of reflects off of the sunlight kind of reflects off of the water. Looks like a picture out there, guys. Nice, beautiful day out here on Lake Lanier. If anybody was wondering what lake I was on. All right, just bear with me. Let's see. right, let's see. Oh, no. All right, now I have to actually go and find my own live video on the channel. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. As you know, I always get out here and I do a little work and fishing at the same time. So right now I'm putting some information in the description for you guys. So just bear with me. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. Save that right there. All right, so now we're up and running. You guys should see that information in the description. So the bait that look at that. Got myself right there on live. But the bait that I have tied on. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I see it. Somebody said it. Let me see. What's the driving force? Okay, somebody said Berkeley. Valley says, what's the driving force behind single mothers in America? Interesting topic. All right, Troy says Berkeley. Let's see. Chauncey says, oh, yes, didn't make the regionals. Finished 79th out of 266 co-anglers. First tournament, Lake Lanier, March 1st. Looks like the I'm a skimmer. All right, so Chauncey was the first to get that. Josh said, I'm a skimmer. PJ said Rapala. Wyatt said Berkeley. Josh also said, I'm a skimmer. He said, no, I'm a skimmer. That's right. Fruit says, I'm a cash app you if you do a cannonball, bro. What is a cannonball? You talking about jumping in this water? No, sir. No, sir. I would not be doing that today. I mean, it's a nice, pretty water. There are a lot of people that do come out here, swim, jet ski, wakeboarding, all that good stuff. What's going on, Don? Good to see you in the chat. Oh, my goodness. We have Jana Kennels checking in. Hit the channel with the $4.99 super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Says hanging up the rods for the year over here. Tight lines. Oh, no, not hanging up the rods. I couldn't do it. I fish all year round. Don says silver. Let me see. I'm almost caught up in the chat. Fruit says, watch out for the lake monster. Oh, yeah, there's some lake monsters in here. Big Ivy says, what's up, money? I see you out here trying to get it in. My friend, that is right. That is right. All right, so here we go. So it is an I'm a skimmer. And I did put the link in the description. The link will say discount products. So we're going to see if we can catch some fish on a few different baits that we have on here today. So I have, what did I say, guys? 2 bait casters on the deck and 4 spinning reels. Now, the reason why I have so many spinning reels on this lake in particular is because these fish, you kind of have to be off of them a good distance. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but let's just see if you can see how far I can cast this bait. Now I'm throwing this on a 7-foot medium. It's a Micro Magic rod, but it's a 7-foot medium. That medium means that tip on it. See how it kind of flexes at the tip a little bit more? So I can get a real nice cast with it. And I have 10-pound high-vis yellow line on this spool, and it's going to either 10 or 8 pound. Feels like that is 10-pound line. So I have 10-pound line right here on the leader, and that is about a 20-foot leader, and it's tied using the Alberto knot. But let's just see. Look at that thing go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Now, this is definitely what I need to get those schooling fish. This thing casts, I would guess and say, maybe about 130, well over 100 feet. Let's do it that way. It's well over 100-foot cast that I can get out of this. And for anybody that knows, when you're out here trying to catch these fish on top water, if you can get a cast out that far away from the boat, because for some reason, it seems like the majority of the time, those fish are always coming up on top water, just out of distance from the from where you can cast to. All right, let's see. Jenna says thinking about doing some trout fishing. Oh yeah, that's always some fun right there. And those things are pretty tasty. Deborah says, where are you fishing today? We are back out here once again on Lake Lanier, having some fun in the sun, testing out this new bait that I just got and set it up on this reel last night. So I wanted to come out here and see if I can catch a fish or two, get some blow ups on it. You guys know I like catching top water fish. All right, so we're coming up on a nice little point right here. So we're gonna see if we have some active fish out there. But I did want to fish this top water right over there by those laydowns and just see if maybe there's a fish lurking over there. Mike says, it's windy, should be on the money today. Oh yeah, it's windy, but the problem is when I'm live with you guys, I have to kind of stay out of the wind. So it makes it a little more difficult. So I have to kind of change things up based on the weather conditions and the fact that I'm, hanging out with you guys today on the live stream. Jenna Kendall says, surprised you don't have it on a bait caster. Oh yeah, I would love to have it on a bait caster. But what I was explaining is on this lake, these fish are really accustomed to, let's just put it this way, it's a high pressure lake. So to get more bites, you want to be able to cast these baits as far away from the boat as possible so that, the fish don't really realize your presence. So I have that tied on to a 10 pound bait, 10 pound braid, high vis yellow, going to 10 pound. There we go. We just got a tappy tap, guys. But it feels like a brim though. Just kind of hit it 2 or 3 quick times and then went away. Yeah, let's see. What did it do? Feels like it may have. Yeah, that was just the brim, pulled the worm off of the hook. But yeah, so I only have 2 bait casters on the deck, but that is the only walking bait that I have on a spinning reel. On a spinning reel, because I did want to have something that I could get those extra long casts out there with. So we're just trying that out today. Who knows? I may switch it over to a bait caster, but right now I really like the distance that I'm getting out of the cast with that. Gunner says, try a spinner bait. Mahmoud Ali says, what is the best lure for fishing there? Man, that's kind of a hard one. It depends. I'd say you have to have a combination. I like catching fish on top water, but you may not catch as many fish, but a lot of times you catch bigger fish that way. But a shaky head, what I'm throwing right now, a little artificial worm, that's something that you can pretty much cruise around. You keep that in your hand all day, you'll come back with with some fish, get a few bites on that. Dawn says, I'm going to magnet fishing. Nope, I have never done it, but that definitely seems interesting. Those guys are finding old guns, old watches, all kind of old stuff in those lakes. Janice says, I've tried it, Dawn. Gotta get a good magnet. Yeah, it definitely sounds like something that would be interesting to do. Good luck out there with your magnet fishing. All right, let's go ahead and start scouting around now. We're gonna be out here for about 2 hours today, guys. We're gonna see how many fish we can get to the boat so we can play the guessing game. Is there anybody in the chat who has not played the guessing game with us? If you have not played the guessing game, put no in the chat. Jenna says, money looking for the blinky. For the blinky. Yeah, man, somebody done tossed one in the river trying to hide it. But Don is gonna go out there and find it. Mascot Fishing says, is this the channel where you can win money for guessing the weight of the fish? Yes, sir. We call it Bass for Cash. So we're gonna make it official in a little bit, because we're gonna have like sponsors that come in and they'll, they'll be doing the payouts depending on if you can guess the weights of the fish and things like that. So we're gonna make it some fun. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. But in the chat, all right, so Gunner says no. Cody says no. Kenny says, you in Georgia? Oh, yes, sir. I'm out here in Georgia. Out here hanging out on Lake Lanier trying to catch a few fishes. See if we can have some fun today. Man, I love the distance that this thing casts right there. I can really reach out and touch him. I would prefer to be throwing this on a bait caster, but I'm throwing it on a spinning reel. Uh-oh, okay, looks like we may be coming up on something. We're scouting for these fish out here, guys. Man, that thing casts like a little bullet. Don says, me too. It flings it out there. Don says, flexible pole and fast. Oh my goodness. What was that out there? Let's see, guys. I think I see a little something. I think I see a little something. Let's back out just a little bit. When you know it, one leaf out here on the lake and I get hung up on that leaf. Now those fish are setting up for some nice topwater action. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Take a look right there. Can you see them? They're set up for some nice topwater action. So let me come off of this, oh man, was it foul hooked? I think it may not have been. Okay, we're good. We're just gonna sit back here and let this I'm a skimmer do its thing. So this is a new bait for me, so I'm going to. What's up, Jenna? Says, why no cheater box today? Hey, I just pulled it out. So I just started using my Mega Live for today. Oh my goodness, the wind got me bad on that one. I don't know if you guys can see kind of this line right here. On the other side, this water back here, the wind is blowing a lot. Over here where I'm at, you kind of see the water is nice and calm. But if I go just a few more feet out this way, then it's going to be extremely rough. And the cast that I just made, once that wind took it way away from where I was trying to cast to. All right, so now the wind is shifting. And today the wind is kind of coming from a different direction than what it's been on the other days when we were out here. So I kind of had to realign a few things. Uh-oh. What's going on, Cody? Good to see you in the chat. All right, I was able to get that cast out there. Let's see. I may have to get something that has a little more disturbance on top of the water now because the wind has now picked back up. Are you guys able to see the difference in the wind by the way that the water is moving out here? The wind is really blowing around this this point. And over here where I'm at, well, that's kind of, there's a little bit of wake over here from a boat that just went by. But the, all right, let's see. Will these fish come up and hit on top? I was trying to get a top water bite for you guys so you can see the fish as they come up on top. May not be happening. The wind is a little rougher than what I want right now. Let's go ahead and go down there to those fish now. All right, so there's the fish we're going to be targeting right here. I just made a cast. My cast hit at about 75 feet, so I'm just going to bring the bait right through there and see what we can make happen. Dawn says, bye, friend. Gotta go. Good luck, everyone. Stay blessed. Really appreciate you for tuning in for a quick minute, Dawn. Really appreciate that. All right. Chauncey says, you might need a Chapo. Oh, yeah, that might just be the ticket. The burning season, another day, but not another fish. Oh, my goodness, the burning season is here to give me a hard time. But we're going to see. We're going to be out here for maybe about 2 hours, a little under 2 hours, and see. The goal for today is to get 3 fish to the boat in 3 hours. How about that? Does that sound like a good goal for today, guys? 3 fish in 2 hours based on these conditions. Bernstein said, I need El Chapo's money. Man, I don't know. That money comes with problems. Do you want those kind of problems? Worm King Swim Bait says, you need that Worm King swim bait. What is a Worm King swim bait? What kind of worm swims? What's going on, Worm King? Good to see you in the chat. Henrik says, any fish is a good day as long as it's not a skunk day. Hey, some of these days you come out here and don't catch any fish and still, are able to get out and enjoy the nice day out here on the water. Clear your mind a little bit. Hang out with the Money Team, the live stream. Okay, I'm getting a bite, guys. Getting a bite. Ah, let it go. Let it go. Wouldn't you know? Man, oh man. All right, this current is kind of shifting me around. Take a look at them, guys. Take a look at them. They're lined up out there. But they're just teasing me. They don't want to bite. Burning Season said I should have joined the Air Force. It was some good times. The Air Force was some good times. Henry says, agree 100%. Any day fishing is good. Oh, yeah. You guys can't feel the cool breeze. You can't smell that fresh air that's out here. But yeah, it's definitely a good day. Definitely a good day. Big shout out to Joe Winkler. He says he's out here looking, he want me to get a 3-pounder to the boat for him. We'll see. We'll see if we can make it happen today. We've caught some 3s and 4s out here. At least want to start the day off with a bite. How about that? We need some fish to just cooperate a little bit. And I have to kind of do this while we're hiding from the wind, so I can't necessarily go where I want to go. All right, let's go ahead and change up on these fish and see. Oh, well, you know what? Before I throw this swim bait, let's go ahead and hit them with this top water bait again. But you guys have seen me throwing a lot here. And again, everybody, the links are in the description. I try to make sure I provide value to you guys while I'm out here on the lake, having some fun, hanging out with the YouTube crew. The links are in the description for any products. And if there's discounts available, the link will say discount products. So always double check the description. All right, I was able to get kind of a decent cast out of that. So this bait caster is definitely not casting as far as I could with that spinner reel in these winds. Uh-oh, burning season. What kind of stories have you heard? I can neither confirm nor deny any of these stories or allegations that you may be discussing in the chat. One to cooperate. Just one. What's going on, Matthias? Back in the chat. Says, catching anything today? Not yet. I'm not sure how long we've been rolling, but we're going to be out here for a little under 2 hours. So I came out here with 2 hours being the game plan for today. So we've probably been fishing for 20 to 30 minutes, something like that maybe. And I'm out here kind of fighting against this wind. All right, so we're switching over to a swim bait now. Just trying to find something that will get these fish active. What's going on, Jake? Jake says you're about to go fishing. What kind of fish are you going to be fishing for, Jake? And where are you going to be fishing at? Make sure you guys continue to hit that like button once you come into the chat. If you have already hit the like button, type the word like in the chat. I always like to see who is participating in the chat and who is supporting the channel. Those likes seems like a simple task, but they really, really do help out the channel, guys. It really helps push the channel out there. And we've been growing real fast. So I really appreciate all the support and feedback I've been getting from everybody. All right, let's kind of move in on these fish a little bit. So the wind is coming right around this this corner out here. And those fish are setting up out there. See how all these fish are kind of lined up out there? Now I'm in the wind. If you guys can, now I came around the corner of that island. I'm no longer protected by that island anymore. So can you guys now hear that wind? If you can, put wind in the chat. Michael says that's some clear looking water. Oh yeah. I'm not really seeing any bait fish right now, though. All right, Lego says wind. Clifton says wind. OG says wind. Oh, yeah. When I came from around the corner of that island, that wind said, hello, sir. How are you doing today? Chauncey said he was like number 16. Who is going to be like number 35? Let's see if we can get these likes up so we can get this live pushed out and make sure everybody knows that we are back out here live and in action. We'll be playing the guessing game shortly. Troy says spinner bait. Oh yeah, you know, I had a little tap on that spinner bait last time, but I put that in the rod locker. I don't have it out right now. Somebody wants to talk to me. Michael says, I was 35. Logan says, throw that whopper plopper. Hit him with that plopper. Jake says, where are you fishing at? I am out here on Lake Lanier, Georgia. Trying to see if we can get some of these spotted bass to cooperate. I'm out here in the wind, so I'm may have to move again. So the fish are out here. The fish are out here in the wind. But I can't stay in the wind because I think it'll get too loud as far as the audio goes. And I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me. So what I'm doing is kind of cruising around and trying to stay shielded from the wind. Let's see. I see a little something that I want to try. Let me pick up my handy dandy shaky head once again and get a real nice cast out here. Perry says wind isn't that bad. Okay. All right, so you guys can still hear me okay. That's good. Yeah, it died down just a little bit. It's coming in waves. Worm King says use a curly tail. All right, you guys is voting for a spinner bait. Logan says my biggest bass was 6 pounds 3 ounces. Yeah, my biggest spotted bass was 5 pounds 11 ounces. Biggest largemouth was 8.57 pounds. We're rolling. Yeah, buddy, what's going on? Good to see you back in the chat. Says, any luck today? No, sir, not yet. The burning season says, how about a post a pic of my girlfriend and we play guess her weight? Oh, no. Burning season, what is going on? That does not sound like a good game to play. Oh, man, that really doesn't sound like a good game. It doesn't sound like, well, I mean, I guess you could win if you know. I guess you could figure out a way to win at that one, but I don't know. That sounds like a pretty risky game to play. Timothy Turner says, another day on the near. You are the man. What's going on, Timothy? Glad to see you out in the chat. We're just out here trying to have a little fun, catch a few fishes. See that nice pretty day? Can you hear the wind? Can you guys hear that wind? Man, so I can see a nice little area that I want to get to right over here. But the wind is getting kind of fierce. And since I'm on live right now, if I wasn't on live, you know, the wind wouldn't be an issue at all. But being on live, you know, I can't stay out in the wind too long and you guys can't hear me. H8 says, can you use a frog lure? A frog right now will not be productive where I'm at on this lake. And this isn't necessarily a frog lake, but there are some places where you can fish a frog pretty good on this lake. I'm not in that area right now. All right, I see we hit 39 on the likes. Good deal. Who's going to be like number 40? If you can hit the like button and put 40 in the chat, I'd really appreciate it. Troy says, not frog conditions. He says, my biggest largemouth was last year after 35 years of doing this. 7 pounds, 15 ounces on a tactical bassin. Uh-oh, tactical bassin out there making things happen for you. 210 wake, giant top water. All right. Good deal. All right, who's going to hit the channel with like numbers? Man, I sure do want to spend a little more time in this location, guys. But this wind, I think the wind may be a little too much. the audio. Can you guys hear the wind blowing? If that wind is pretty loud for you, well, it's dying down right now. Hendrick says, barely hear you, can hear plenty of winds. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and pack up and roll out and see if I can find another spot to hide from the wind. Make sure the audio stays good for you guys. So that's gonna make it kind of tough. I have to stay out of the wind, which is where the fish wanna be. Kellen says, my PB is 5 pounds and I'm 11. Oh my goodness. Kellen is out there. Is that Kellen? Yeah, Kellen. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Out there making it happen. All right, big shout out to Michael. That's the way to do it. Have your 7-year-old as your tournament partner. It's not always about the fishing, guys. It's about the experience. That is one thing that I have found from interviewing a lot of people, talking to a lot of people on my live streams and on my podcast, that in the end, it is all about the experience. The experiences that you can take away from things. All right, let's change it up. Let's hit over here on the backside. Let's fish as a co-angler for a minute. I hit my spot lock, so that spot lock will hold me in place for a minute. What's going on, Kellen? 11 years old. So we have people 11. How? Wait a minute. Is today a holiday? I was going to say, why aren't you in school? Perfect Level Adventure says, windy out there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But we're making it. We're making it happen. Look at that nice sunny day. Do you see the sun out there? Do you see the water reflecting off of the sun? Kind of looks like a nice picture, doesn't it? Feeling that nice cool breeze. Taking deep breaths out here, enjoying that nice fresh air on the lake. Not too hot, not too cold. I do have on a long sleeve today. Got the long sleeves on. It's just a little cool out here. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and move. Let's see if we can make some things happen. Actually, let me try something real quick. All right, if I get back into the wind, just bear with me, guys. I'm trying to stay out of the wind. But the problem with that is that I need to be in the wind is where these fish are at. We're gonna hit him in the head. We're gonna hit him in the head with a drop shot. The way I like to fish a drop shot is to get right on top of the fish and use my sonar to see where they're at, what they're doing, all that good stuff. All right, so there's some bait fish. You guys see that pot of bait fish right here? Let me zoom back in on it. There we go. Those are bait fish right there. But I don't see any bass around those bait fish. So what we're doing is we're gonna hit these fish in the head with a shaky head. I'm not shaky head, a drop shot. Gonna get right on top of them. We are sitting at 41 likes. Looking good, looking good. Really appreciate the strong support of the channel. All right, so right now on this drop shot rig, I'm throwing that on I'm dropping it on a medium heavy. This is a 7-foot medium heavy. Spinning setup, spinning rod. And I have a Lose Mach 2 Again, you guys see I like using that high-vis yellow braid as my backing on my reels. On this is probably, on this drop shot, probably 15 or 20 pound high-vis yellow braid. I don't really cast it. I just drop it straight down on the fish, so I don't really worry about getting a long cast out of it. So I'm just trying to get lined up on these fish right here. What's going on, Big Mike? Got Big Mike tuning in. All right, we're almost right to where we need to be. Miss it. All right, let's put this on the split screen view. All right, there we go. We're right where we need to be. Let's go ahead and drop this down. I'm dropping straight down on these fish using my sonar, seeing if we can get some action. And I hit my spot lock, so right now I'm locked in place. I'm being held in place by the spot lock. Andrew says Columbus Day. Only the lucky people are off. All right. Big Mike says, let's get some big ones. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Vincent, get out there and make some things happen on the lake or pond or whatever it is that you have in the area. All right, let's see. Michael says, on your drop shot, do you try to match the bait fish or use different colors? I use different colors. Sometimes I keep like 5 or 6 different worms on the, and look at this fish right here. This fish right here just followed my bait all the way up. And now I just drop back down. He's following it back down. So let's see if that fish is active. Let's see if that fish wants to go down there and take a bite. What's going on, Big Mike? Shout out to Big Mike. Hit the channel with the $5 super chat. He says, let's start the day off. Oh, yeah, let's get the day started. So now it's time. I owe you guys 3 fish. Shout out to Big Mike. I owe Big Mike a fish. Let's see, who else was it? Who else do I owe a fish? Jenna Kennels. Hit the channel with the $4.99. Really appreciate it. Uh-oh. I see him. That's what it looks like when those fish are following that bait on sonar. They're going all the way down to the bottom. If you can follow that streak that started right there and it went down all the way to the bottom. So now I'm just waiting on a tappy tap. Just waiting on that tap. Hold on, just all right, I'm back. Had to take a quick phone call. Had a fellow angler out here on the lake. Like, hey, what's going on out there, MoneyBass? Are you catching any? Are you fishing for fun? Are you talking to your peoples too much? All right, we have Bill Meeks checking in. Says, Did Tank ever come back? So Bill Meeks was out here. What day was that? Was that Friday? When we were out here on Friday? Yeah, I had the last minute challenge. And what he is referring to is we do this thing called the guessing game, but it's going to be called Bass for Cash is going to be the official name of it. So where as I catch fish, I'll hold the fish up on a measuring board and let you guys see how big the fish is and everything. And once you see that, then you make a guess to see if you can guess the weight of the fish. And the person that guesses the weight of the fish, we have someone that comes in and sponsors that. So sometimes they'll put up $5, $10, just depends on how they're feeling at the moment. So we had I believe it was $10 on the line. Was it $10 or $5? But we had $10 on the line, and I think I had a countdown. I had 5 minutes left to catch a fish. I'm just changing out the color on this drop shot real quick, guys. But we had 5 minutes left, and so someone in the chat by the name of Tank, was saying, man, look at this guy. He can't catch any fish. He has all of that equipment on his boat and he's not catching anything. He was in the chat making some comments like that, right? So then he adds in that, hey, if you catch a fish, I'll super chat you. I'll cash app you. What was it? $25. So he said he would cash app me $25. So I said, oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and get serious with this thing. So I was like, hold on, guys. I got a challenge. So what I did is change things up real quick. And within those last 3 minutes, I think I had 3 minutes left. Well, I had 5 minutes when he made the challenge. And then within 2 minutes, I went ahead and caught a fish just like that and got it to the boat, and he disappeared from the chat. We haven't seen Tank since. If anybody was here and watching, man, I'm sorry, guys, the wind is picking up. But if anybody was watching whenever that happened, put Tank in the chat. Henry says, still owe him 25, I guess. But yeah, Bill Meeks, we have not heard or seen Tank since. But if anybody was here doing that, put Tank in the chat. Type Tank in the chat if you guys were here whenever we were doing that live stream. All right, Bill Meeks, of course, Bill Meeks knows about it. Big Mike knows about it. Yeah, Buddy knows about it. Oh yeah, Tank disappeared. He was like, oh no, I did not expect you to be able to catch a fish. All right, I think that wind is coming back. If that wind is a little too much, type the word wind in the chat for me, and then I'll take off and leave and go to another spot, guys. Let me make sure that everything is on, because my waypoints aren't showing up right. They're not showing up like they're supposed to. Big Mike says, we waiting for him to get in. I don't know if Tank is going to come back, guys. I think you guys scared him off. I think it's Big Mike's fault. Is it your fault, Big Mike? All right, I'm going to see if I can move out of this wind, guys. I'm guessing that the wind is probably loud on your end. I know and I'm looking, and it doesn't appear that you guys can actually tell because the water looks a little more calm on screen than what it actually is. But maybe you guys can hear that wind, I'm not sure. But I'll go ahead and get out of the wind just in case. All right. I see some shoal markers up here. We'll see if we can go and see if that'll is a safe place. picking up. Let's head over here to this show marker. I think I'm kind of out of the wind now, guys. If you can hear the wind gets loud, somebody just put wind, type wind in the chat for me so I'll know. Because for me, I can always hear it, but I don't want it to be too loud on your guys' end. Really want to catch something with this new setup that I was showing you guys. So I'm throwing this on a spinning reel, 10-pound high vis yellow braid. I went real light on that braid, and I believe this is 10-pound fluorocarbon on the leader, and I'm throwing it on a spinning reel on this I'm a skimmer. One of the main reasons is because, as you guys see, this wind out here is kind of, I thought I was high. The wind just changed directions again, so I guess I have to change. Let's go ahead and just see if we can keep rolling until we get out of this wind. Mike says fish towards your right. Oh, you see the calm water over there, right? Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm trying to head into this island. Like this, the wind is coming right around this corner, but right over here, you can see where it's a little more calm. I'm sitting in 21 feet of water right now, coming off of a nice point. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is head over here toward this point where that current and everything is coming around the corner of that island, and see if some fish are set up over there. We'll check that out and see. Bassing all year. Oh yeah, that's the way you do it. Bassing all year. It says what lake? I'm out here on Lake Lanier in Georgia. Yeah, I like this setup on this spinning rod, man. I can cast that thing a long ways. Now all I need is to find some schooling fish that think they're too far away from the boat for me to reach out and touch them. Oh man, look at those rocks right there. You see those rocks? Nice lay down up there. We're gonna go check it out, see if we can make it happen. And while we're moving, let's go ahead and reset my electronics real quick. Man, that wind is still getting me just a little bit. But if you take a look, can you guys see the difference just from right here where I'm at with the boat? Can you see the water right here? Now look when you come out just a little bit. Are you able to see the difference? Let's see if we can zoom in on it. And you still can't really tell from the camera. But that water out there, that's where the wind is pushing out right around this corner of this island. All right, there we go. Nice calm water hiding from the wind over here. But hiding from the wind isn't always a good thing. When you're trying to catch fish, it's not always a good thing. Big shout out to the Money Team. Really appreciate the members of the channel always tuning in, getting active in the chat. All right, let's see. We're set up now, guys. Man, we're still in 50 feet of water. I don't know if you guys can tell how close we are to that bank, but this is a big ledge right here. Yeah, Buddy says, what is the best bait to use for this time of year? Also, what color works best? The colors, to me, you just have to kind of cycle through and see. But right now, I'm throwing a bone color. The sun is out, shining bright. Can you guys see that? So really, I'll throw a chrome bait. Overcast, I'll generally throw this bone color. But when I'm out here, I'm just experimenting with a few different things. Whenever you're not in a tournament and there's money on the line, you can get out here and play around, try a few different things and see if something that's a little out of the ordinary from what is different from the norm will work. Hello? All right, got a fellow angler out here on the lake. Had to give him some directions real quick. I think he's out here testing a few things on his boat. All right, back to it, back to it. Shout out to Big Ivy. Big Ivy says, just finished my morning route. Let me see what you up to. How many fish have you caught? I have caught no fish just yet. I've pretty much been spending my time trying to dodge the wind so you guys could hear me. We'll get back to some fishing now. So I'm gonna have to kind of change some things up from what I was wanting to do. The wind is a game changer. But ideally, what I would do is I would go into the wind and fish, stay in areas where that wind is blowing. But I can't do that right now because it won't make for a good live stream. All right, we're sitting at 47 likes. TJR Fishing Vlog says, hi, like 48 from India. What is going on? Big shout out to India. I told you guys we are worldwide. Everybody loves a little bit of fishing. We are worldwide and age-wide. We have people from, who was in here just a little earlier, 11 years old. We have people from 11 years old to 80 plus years old in the chat, guys. So we're always out here networking, having fun, and sharing experiences with each other, offering advice, giving life advice at times. All of that good stuff. Everything that you would think about when you think about what is fishing really about. It's really about the experience. Meeting new people, sharing those experiences with each other. All right, let's see. What else you guys talking about in the chat? Big Ivy says, is the water up? Yes, sir. The water level is up. So I'm fishing new water, guys. I'm fishing areas that I don't normally fish because what I'm doing is just trying to stay out of the wind. From Palu watching. Okay, all right. We have Louisiana. Jerry says, hello from Stewart, Virginia. And the best of luck to you. All right, really, really appreciate that. Chauncey says, oh yeah, tune in for Battle of the Anglers. Make sure you guys set your calendars for November 9th and November 10th. There will be a 2-day live competition on this channel. And for you guys that are familiar with Battle of the Anglers, make sure you share the links. I'll go ahead and set the link up so you guys can go ahead and set it on your calendar so that you'll be able to receive a notification. But if you are not familiar with Battle of the Anglers, there will be 8 anglers all on the screen at the same time. We will be fishing against each other, seeing who can bring in the best 5 bass. We will be able to hear each other talk. We will be able to talk to each other, and we will be able to communicate with you guys in the chat. So it'll be a real great experience. Burn Season says, I sent my entry fee in Battle of the Anglers, but it got returned. Oh no, how did that happen? Edward Ragsdale Fishing says the challenge is still open. Ernest says, what lure are you fishing with? Right now, I'm just throwing a shaky head. So you can see I'm right next to this bank. There's some rocks out here, and it's kind of like a little point that comes out here. I'm not really seeing any fish or getting any activity. I really want to be out there in this wind to be able to target the fish that I want, but it's just a little too windy for the live stream. The Burning Season said, no Yankees allowed. Hey man, everybody's allowed. We're all one big family, having a great time out here. But yeah, make sure you guys set your calendars for November 9th and November 10th. It will be Battle of the Anglers. There will be 8 of us live on the screen. And what I'll do is I'll do a Meet the Anglers podcast where we will all be on the screen talking to each other. So that way you can see the other anglers and start placing your bets to see who you think will be the winner of that live stream. I mean, of that tournament. So it's a live fishing tournament, guys. Edward says, back to work. All right. We got to make some things happen. So the goal for today was is 3 fish, so we can do the guessing the weight. You know, the guessing game. See who can guess the weight of the fish that are being caught. Yeah, this location I'm at right now, we're out of the wind, but we're also out from where the fish are at because it is kind of dead over here. But let me just show you guys. If you can see the difference in the water over there, and like I said, on the camera, you can't really tell. You can't really see those white caps out there. But if you can tell the difference between the current coming around this corner versus the calm water where I'm sitting at right now, put the word current in the chat. I just want to see if you guys can tell. And right here is where you kind of see the line at. That's kind of where that line is at, where the rough water starts and where it gets calm to where I'm at. But put current in the chat if you guys can tell the difference in that water. Joe Winkler says you could get on a buzz bait with all them waves. Fish would come right up. Fishing is friendship and peace. Michael says, what hours each day? I'm out here at different times of the day, but generally I try to get out on the lake around 10 o'clock. And I'll stay out here for about an hour or two, hanging out with you guys, seeing how things are going. All right, so Greg and Bass for him says they can see that current. Epic Vid says, can you say what you're doing? Well, right now, the main thing I'm doing is hiding from the wind so I can talk to you guys. So I was showing you the difference in, if you can see right here, I zoomed in on it for you. So right there, you can kind of see a difference in the water. So right here where I'm at, as we get closer to the boat, you see the water is nice and calm. Out there, you can see that line where that wind is really pushing those waves and everything. So if I go around this corner right here, it gets rough, but that's probably where I need to be to get some action from these fish. But let me just kind of move around on this point just a little bit. So I'm working against the wind. I'm working against these conditions, and I have to make sure you guys can hear me in the chat. And see, I'm easing out here just a little too far because I just hit the wind again. So as soon as I get out here closer to where I want to be, the wind starts hitting me. But I'm just moving a little bit closer. What does Big Ivy say? He says, MoneyBass says, my nephew said he wanted 3 pounds because every time he better get me, you always win. Okay. All right, so he wants a 3-pounder. Michael says, no, the live tournament on the 9th and the 10th. Yes, make sure you mark your calendars. Who is going to be watching on the 9th and 10th? If you're going to watch that live tournament, put yes in the chat. I just want to see what type of participation we can plan on having. Chauncey says, new rules for the 2025 BFL. 3 fish limit for co-anglers and 2 transducers for boaters. Wow. When did that come out? All right, Joe Winkler says, oh, yeah, I'm going to be watching that Battle of the Anglers. It's kind of fun. Oh, yeah, once we start catching fish and somebody's not catching fish, all that trash talk starts and some feelings get hurt. It's a different type of animal when you're out there participating in it. Some people can't handle the pressure when the pressure is on. Best for him says, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. I can't even tell you about November. Oh, for the Battle of the Anglers, Big Ivy, I got you. So you guys are placing bets on who you think is gonna win. Oh man, now that's funny. So yeah, so it's definitely gonna be a good time. We're gonna be out there for 2 days. And as you guys see, that day one, there's some people that, you know, you may be struggling on day one and come back on day two and let them have it. So it's one of those things where you definitely don't want to give up. All right, hold on 1 second, guys. All right, guys. So just to let you know what just happened. So I was telling you there was an angler out here that was trying to come over here and meet up with me. Now, out there in the distance, let's see if we can see him. He just told me that he is in a Ranger, guys. And for those Ranger guys, you know how good those how good they drive. He said he is soaking wet. Yeah, we can't see him. He's back there behind that. But he said he's soaking wet and he is going in. He said he is not staying out here in these high winds and everything because you can't run. He said he can't run anywhere without waves like coming over the boat and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. On camera, when I'm looking at it, you can't even tell that the waves are the way that they actually are. Best for him says the night before the tournament start day, yeah, we did a live stream with all the anglers on there so everybody can meet the anglers. And so that was fun because everybody had already been out there. We had been out there pre-fishing on that Friday. So we kind of had an idea who was going to be catching fish and who wasn't. But as you know, it doesn't always turn out that doesn't always turn out to hold true once tournament day starts. But yeah, so that was a good time too. So yeah, we'll do another live stream like that for you guys. And I'll also do some members only live streams. So for the people that are in the chat, when you hear me mention the money team, those are the people like Big Ivy Fishing. Let's see who else is in here right now. Right now I see Big Ivy Fishing. If you take a look, he has a badge next to his name. So he is a member of the money team, a member of the channel. So sometimes we do members only live streams. So I'll do some of those for you guys that are members of the channel. If you're interested in supporting the channel, just I think there's like a little $ right next to where you guys are typing the chat in there. Just click on that and it'll show you, you can click on membership and it'll just give you some information about it. It's not much, guys, but it does help support the channel. So I try to do a little extra for you guys. Let's see, the burning season says bad hole design for water deflection. Is that on the Ranger that you're talking about? But yeah, he was in a Ranger. So he said he's heading in. He said he's soaking wet, and the wind is too much. The waves are a little too much. All right, so we're fishing this laydown right here. You guys see this laydown? Throwing a little shaky head out there. So we'll just slow down and fish this. So, man, I really want to get out there and catch some fish, guys. It'll be kind of slow trying to, fish these laydowns and stuff like that on this live stream, because I need to hit a few of them before, unless I just happen to find the right area. But I'm just fishing random areas, guys. Really, the goal is to stay out of the wind so you guys can hear me. But in just a minute, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get back out there in the wind again so we can catch something. What's going on? Ken says fluke over that laydown. Ken, guess what I did? I took my fluke off and I tied on an I'm a skimmer. So how about we do an I'm a skimmer over that laydown? Will that work for you? Is that close enough? We have Lil Fish Jr. says, are you at Lake Harding? Oh my goodness, guys, there we go. Oh, a shoot and a miss. And look at that. Do you see that? The worm is gone. Okay, all right. So we're getting some action. So now what that means, now that we found a location where we have a little bit of activity, because on a day like this, we got to capitalize on that. So let's hop back in here, get another worm set up. All right, so there's my storage compartment where I keep my tackle and stuff at. Keep everything in these tackle bags. And those waterproof boxes is what I like to use. But all we're gonna do is just get this worm back on here. I just come in at a nice angle. All right, Ken, I'm gonna throw this shaky head in there 1 or 2 more times, and then I'm gonna come across the top with a, I do not wanna, so this right here is what we call JJ's Magic. It is a dipping dye. It adds a scent, a very strong garlic scent to your baits. So it's like a fish attractant. You don't want to get it on your boat. And I like hitting them with a double whammy. So I'll hit them with that, and then I'll hit them with a little bit of this red color. I'll dip it in that. All right, so there we go. Do you guys have combinations of different dyes and stuff like that that you put on your worms? Look at that. That's the way I like to do mine. Put a little bit of red dye right there on the tip. So even though it's not a crawbait, I like imitating the craw colors. If you guys saw the other day, one of the crawfish, a real nice sized crawfish that I had pulled out of a 3+ pound bass out of its mouth, had a crawfish that was like a green pumpkin color, had a little bit of orange and a little bit of red on his claws. So let's get that back in there again, and we're just gonna fish it real slow. All right, little fish, I'm on Lake Lanier. Jake says, what lake are you fishing at? I'm currently on Lake Lanier in Georgia. B-Bob says, garlic, Italian fish? Yes, sir. They like that. They like spaghetti, and they like those spaghetti noodles. All right, Jake says, what's going on? Ken says, hey, Money, I discovered a new killer bait, a Ned Rig Rage Bug. It really catches the largies. Okay, a Ned Rig Rage Bug. I think I may have something like that. Big Ivy says, once you become a member for 1 year, Money will fly you out to Lanier and house you for 2 days and fish with you for those 2 days. Big Ivy. Oh, goodness, Big Ivy, you cannot be putting stuff like that in the chat. Somebody may think you are being serious. All right, let's see. Texas Talk says that Cash App's still an option. All you have to do is jump in. How much is the Cash App? How much is the Cash App? Ken says, that's it, I'm leaving. Oh, come on, Ken, what happened? Ken, Ken said, that's it, I'm leaving. Texas says, $200. No, sir, I'm not going to jump in this lake. Hey, was who? Okay, we talked about Tank a little earlier. Put Tank in the chat if you guys know who Tank is and what Tank did. Put Tank in the chat. I just want to see how many people in here were watching when we had somebody named Tank come through with an offer, with a monetization offer. Oh man, wait a second. Oh my goodness, guys. We have any crappy fishermen in here? Do those look like crappie to you guys? Can you see that? They're only about 30 feet out. They're just right over here. Let's just pitch this. Oh my goodness, man. Why did I get hung up? Come on, man. Let me get loose. I just found a place where I need to make a good cast and immediately got hung up. And actually, what that is this laydown. This tree is, wow, this tree is very long. It comes way out here. I'm gonna circle back around and get away from it a little bit because there are some fish down there. All right, so Big Mike put Tank in there. Tiffy put Tank, so Tiffy knew what was going on with Tank. Ken says, no fluke, I'm out. Oh, come on, Ken. He said a fluke wouldn't get me stuck. That is correct. I would not have got stuck with a fluke. Let's just see if I can get this out of here, man. Okay, there we go. I'm out. All right, now we can swing around and fish the very end of that tree. So Ken wants me to throw okay, let's do this, Ken. I'm gonna show you. Do you know what an I'm a skimmer is? We have Crossed by the Goat says, Money, do you remember me? I remember that name. I remember that name. All right, so you guys put Tank in the chat. In the chat, for the people who don't know what Tank did, just give a little quick synopsis of how you would describe what Tank did to make him a memorable person. And I guess in not necessarily a good way in the chat. All right, so here we go, guys. Check them out. Can you see all of these fish right here right at this end? Now, they may come up and hit something on top. Wait a minute, did I miss something? We have Kerry Parks checking in with the $5 super chat. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, I definitely have to catch a fish for you guys. All right, so here we go. So Ken, I know you, oh, wait a minute. Did I hear something splash? Did I hear him come up or was that just a hitting against the rocks? Here we go, Ken. So a fluke, I mean, it's gonna walk across the water. It's gonna walk across. Is that good enough for you, Ken? So we're gonna make this cast right out there to those rocks, all the way to the bank. There we go. And now we're just gonna work this thing across there. They didn't want it. Why? No activity, nothing even moved. Let's make one more cast with it. Shout out to Kerry Parks. Really appreciate the $5 super chat. All right, let's see. We have a nice little crowd in here. So what we are doing today is spending a lot of time hiding from the wind. But what I may need to do is go out there and get in that wind so I can get some fish to the boat for you guys. Because playing it safe isn't always the best way to catch bass. Have you ever fished a finesse jig? Dodo says, have you ever fished a finesse jig? Yes, sir. Kerry Park says, get you a lazy, what is that? A lazy Ike. The burning season says, this pains me to see this happen. All right, somebody said a finesse jig. All right, so let's get a finesse jig out for somebody who wants to see a finesse jig. We'll throw that into that lay down. But on this jig, I generally throw 20-pound line when I'm throwing into lay downs, but I think the line on here, it feels like it may be, man, like 10 or 12-pound line, something like that. And let me just show you guys the setup on that. So for whoever was asking. So this is the finesse jig. It is a bitsy bug. Can you see that? With a rage craw on there. And you see I kind of put a little bit of dye on there to kind of change the color on it just a little bit. But that is a 1/4 ounce. I'm throwing it on fluorocarbon line. It's probably, like I said, maybe 10 or 12-pound line. I can tell the diameter on it feels kind of slim. This is a 710 extra heavy rod, so I cannot lay into that fish when it hits it very hard because I may actually break the line. 710 extra heavy. This is normally a setup for 20-pound line for me. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna make a cast right into this cover. And that cover is this tree right here that's coming into the water. So we're gonna make a long cast into there, try to get it right through the thick part. All right, so we got a good cast. Go ahead and spot lock. We're just gonna drag that jig through there kind of slow. Give it a little more slack to let it just fall down where I need it to go. Let's see, there we go. Make sure it's on the bottom. And all we're gonna do now is just kind of slow drag it back so it doesn't get hung up in there. All right, Ken says, noodle rods again. Ken is like, get rid of those rods. Kerry Park says, Lazy Ike is an old school bait. Okay, but I can still find them around $5. Lil Fish says, I seen your video on Lake Hardin and those jigs and finesse worms work great. Okay, oh yeah, I was killing them with that jig. I was getting them good with that jig on Lake Hardin. Did I place in that video? Because I'm thinking that was a tournament video that you saw. So Lil Fish, did I place in that tournament? How did I do in the tournament overall? William says, what lake or state? I am at Lake Lanier in Georgia. Just slow dragging a jig. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you could, we are at 73 likes. We're almost at 80. If you haven't hit the like button, take a minute to double tap your screen if you're watching on a phone so we can get that extra like in there. We're trying to get to 80 likes. Let's see if we can do it. Only need 8 more likes to hit 80. We have Dublin, Ireland. What's going on? Christie's Irish Allotment checking in from Dublin, Ireland. Like I said, we are worldwide. And actually, why don't you guys take a minute to drop where you're at? What state, country, city, whatever you want in the chat so we can see where people are tuning in from. We have Dublin, Ireland tuning in. All right, we have Sai says, hey, I liked and subscribed. Bash for him. We got California. Big Mike from Louisiana. Sai checking in from Missouri. We have little fish from Alabama, from Bama, hitting us from Bama. All right. We have Michigan checking in and Iowa once again. Big shout out to Joe Winkler. He is the sponsor of today's live stream. He hit us with a $20 super chat, guys. And like I say, each time we are out on the lake or in the studio, whoever gives the highest super chat or super sticker during the live stream is the sponsor of the live stream. So big shout out to Joe Winkler. Really appreciate that. Herbert checking in from Florida. Adrian from Columbus. All right. Ken knows a little bit about Dublin. All right, good deal. Northeast Missouri. Did I shout out Herbert from Florida? Carrie from Northeast Missouri. Ken says from Poconos, Pennsylvania. Any fish yet? No fish yet. All right, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and try something bold and dangerous. You heard somebody a little earlier say, hey, I'm giving up. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting away from this wind and these waves. But your partner, MoneyBass, I'm not scared of the wind and waves. I'll go out there and fish them just like it's a regular day. The only issue is once I get out there, it may be a little windy on the audio side of things. So I'm gonna go out there and try it. But if it's too windy, then I'm gonna come back and hide again, guys. And this may be more of a talk show than a fish show today if I can't stay out there in the wind. All right, Clint Perry. Let's celebrate their first super chat on the live stream. Big shout out to Clint Perry. Hit the channel with the $5 super chat. Actually, it's a super sticker, so no question, no comment, just pure love of the game. Loving the game of fishing, guys. Getting out here, relaxing on the lake, enjoying some beautiful scenery. And see, me, this is the kind of view I like. I don't really like the big city buildings, cars, and horns honking, and, air that you can hardly breathe. I mean, out here, you hear the nice sounds of the wind blowing through the trees. Sometimes you hear the birds chirping, but I think the wind is a little too much for them today because they're kind of quiet. Got the nice fresh air. Really appreciate that. Big shout out to Clint Perry for the $5 super sticker. All right, yeah, and if you could, put CP in the chat. That is his first super chat, guys. Really appreciate that. Clint Perry coming in with the $5. All right, let's see. Kerry Park says, where's the chatterbait? Jake from Tennessee. We have Tenu checking in from Jamaica, Edmond. Dodo Bird says main lake and use a spinnerbait. Yeah. The thing this has been the point of discussion. Now this wind, like I said, you guys cannot tell where I'm at, but that wind out there is pretty bad. For the audio side of things, it makes it hard for you guys to hear me. And a friend of mine who was just out on the lake trying to come over to get to where I was at said that the current and the wind was a little too much. Wind was coming over the boat and all that good stuff. So they were like, hey, partner, I'm headed in. All right, big shout out to Casey for shouting out CP, Clint Perry for hitting us with the $5 super chat. Jake says you should use a drop shot. So yeah, we were fishing a drop shot a little earlier. I'm gonna pack up and head to another spot and just see if just see if I can get some of these fish to react. So let's put this jig back up. All right, we're gonna head out into the wind. All right, so if you guys want me to go into the wind where the fish are at, put wind. But keep in mind that the audio is, you guys are going to be hearing some wind blowing into the mic. So if the wind does get to be a little too much, then I'll have to come back out of the wind. But if you want me to try you guys are putting wind in there quick. Ken says, yeah, we have 34 mile an hour winds. I didn't, let me see. Okay, so everybody, Carrie says no wind. Look at Carrie looking out for me like, nah, we want you to be safe, MoneyBass. Don't go out there in that wind. Your partner just said they got soaked and they're leaving. Oh my goodness. I see why things were not lining up right. I gotta go back and tighten up my equipment. That's why my casts were off. That's my live imaging transducer, but it is not tightened all the way down because I used to have a target lock on here. It's actually in the garage. I got a new one back from Humminbird, but I just haven't put it back on the boat. It makes it a lot easier lifting that trolling motor up and down without having it on there. All right, so we're gonna ease on out, guys. Now you'll start hearing the wind in just a second, because as soon as I get around this corner right here, we're gonna be right here in the wind. All right, and actually let's just check something while we're out here. So the wind isn't blowing bad right now. It's just kind of coming in gust every once in a while. So it's not too bad right now. What's going on, Casey? Checking into the live stream. Good to have you checking in. We're out here just trying to catch a fish or two. Time is ticking. I wanted to be out here for about 2 hours. We're coming up on that 2-hour mark. Big Ivy said, let's talk and catch some fish. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so can you guys hear that wind? Put I can hear it if you can start to hear the wind. It's not real bad just yet where I'm at. But if you can hear it, just type wind or put I can hear it in the chat if you can hear that wind. All right, let's go ahead and get a cast over here on these fish. We're gonna see if we can make something happen, guys. So we're back out in the wind. Ken says, I can hear it. I'm blind. Carrie says, I can't hear you. Too much wind. Don says, you bet we hear it. What's going on? Casey says, my birthday is coming up soon. So can you come? Can I come to your birthday? Where's the birthday party going to be at? What lake are you going to be partying at? Maybe I can head on over there. Jake says, you should go and fish that point. Yes, sir. So that's what I'm doing. I pulled out here on this point. But like I said, I am back in the wind. So right now, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to see. Big Mike says it's not too much wind. So if I turn into the wind, so I'm turned into the wind right now, guys. All right, so the ones are coming in. You guys can still hear me. What's going on, Jake, Kerry, and Paul, and Big Mike? So we're out here fishing the shaky head. Outdoor. What is that? Travesty says any luck. Big Mike says the audio is still good. So far, the luck has been staying out of the wind. The wind is kind of calming down from what it was doing a little earlier. So maybe we can get out here and catch some fish now. But the short answer is no. No luck just yet. Spent more time out here just trying to hide from the wind. That was the goal. But now the goal will be, we'll probably stay out here for another 45 minutes. So we'll see if we can get 2 fish to the boat in 45 minutes. How about that? So that way we can see whose guessing skills are on point. Who can guess the weight of the fish that come to the boat. back out here. We're back at it. We're in the wind. I know you guys can hear that wind now. We have Texas Snoop checking in. Carrie says, fish the bank that has on, let me see, fish the bank that has the what on? The wind blows the bait into the bank. Texas Snoop says, morning money. What's going on, Texas Snoop? Carrie says, I fished tournaments for 25 years. All right, so you're out there making things happen on the tournament scene. Don Bark says, me and the wife won our Saturday morning derby on a 110 jerk bait. Good deal. Wow, and a 6-cent shaky head worm. It was windy like that, and they were suspended over brush piles. Oh yeah, that's what they're doing now. But the main issue is that trying to stay out here in this wind and do the live stream makes it a little difficult. Jake says, I guessed it right the last time on the stream when Tank was in the chat and then left because he didn't want to pay you 20 bucks. So Jake knows what happened. Jake knows the story. Yeah, he got missing pretty quick. He was like, I'm out of here. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right on top of these fish. It most of the time it doesn't work, but because of the wind and everything, maybe it'll be easier for the stream for me to do that, guys. So let's go ahead and try that. We're switching to the drop shot. Chauncey says, be careful out there. Oh yeah, you always have to be careful on the lake, and I definitely keep my life vest on. Can you guys hear that wind? Can you hear the wind that I was telling you about? That's why I was kind of staying away and hiding in the coves and stuff, but these fish are a little more off. All right, we're almost to where we want to be. We are out here in the wind. Can you guys see the waves? And like I said, on camera, it doesn't look. Don Bark said, it sounds beautiful. Are you sure it sounds beautiful? So we're right on top of these fish, guys. So we're just gonna stay here and work this bait a little bit. So let me show you on sonar. This is how it looks on sonar. You can see the fish. The fish are sitting right above in here. This is live imaging. So this is like you can see the outline of that tree. Those fish are sitting down there in that tree. We're in 19 feet of water and trying to see if one of these fish will just go ahead and put their mouth on it. Don Bark says that's where the bass is, so he ain't complaining. Yeah, these bass are out here in this wind. I'm trying to think, maybe after I get off the live, I'll go out and fish from some of the areas in the wind that I can't really go to while you guys are on here, because you definitely won't be able to hear me. How does the audio sound right now? Is the audio good or is it too windy for you guys? Herbert says, that's crappy in that. Clint Perry says, have you seen a sunken boat on live scope? Yes, I have, but it's been a while. I mean, bridges and boats like that, I've seen them on there. Scratch and Sniff says, definitely wind. You can definitely hear that wind. All right, so they're not wanting that color on the worm. So let's change it up again. Like I was telling you guys before, I just really, for me, there's no one set color. I'll just keep different worms on the deck and just change those out as I see the fish not responding or whatever. Because the fish are down there. It's just a matter of getting a bait to them that they'll bite. But now what happens is with these fish being so pressured, getting right on top of them, it just doesn't work the same. It's not as effective as it was before. So I am still able to catch them every once in a while doing this. Don says, it's not that bad. Mr. Turtle says, what reel do you use? So I'm using a Lew's Mach 2 spinning reel. This is not an expensive reel, but it works well for me. All right, so we're just waiting to see if any of these fish want to get active. Don says, does your mic have a wind cover? No, sir, it does not. Texas Noob says, just wanted to say that Tank dipped out like a thief in the night. He sure did. He sure did. Casey says, can I come to the party? Where's the party at? This is Break says, Zebco. I need to hit him with the Zebco. Jake says, what is your PB bass? My personal best spotted bass is 5 pounds, 11 ounces. My personal best largemouth is 8.57 pounds, so a little over 8.5 pounds. All right, guys, that wind is picking up more and more. So we have wind gusts coming in here. Like I said, looking at the water, you can't really tell that the water's a little rough out here. I'm not really bouncing around that much, so it's not that bad. It's really just the wind noise. So in the chat, is that wind loud? Rose says, what country are you from? I'm from the United States. We're at Lake Lanier, Georgia. Mr. Turtle was asking the same question. What lake? Bill Meek says, what lake did I catch my PB largemouth on? That was Lake Chickamauga on a 6XD crankbait. 10-pound fluorocarbon line, banging it off of rocks, off of a point. Carrie says, gotta go, catch you on the next live cast. At 100 likes, guys. We just need 7 more likes to get to 100. If you have already hit the like button, type like in the chat. And if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and double tap your screen. Let's see if we can hit 100. All right, looks like what we're gonna have to do is abandon this effort of fishing in this wind. All right, appreciate that, Casey. Hit that like button. We are at 96 likes. We're almost there. Who is going to be like 97, 98, and 99? All right, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get out of this wind and just head over to a location where we can spend a little time dragging a worm. Trying to fish some techniques that are, good for the live stream based on these conditions, guys. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and roll out. We're going to roll out, guys. 96 likes. All right, so what you are about to witness now is you will see how it is running on this lake. It shouldn't be too bad for me because I've definitely been in a lot worse than this. The waves aren't really too bad. It's just the wind is kind of making things a little rougher than they should be. All right, we're still here. What's going on, Caleb? Jake says, what's your PB smallmouth? I am not sure. When I was catching those smallmouth, I don't remember putting them on the scale, so I wasn't sure. Don Bark says, my first 6-pounder came on a Ozark Trail topwater frog, $197 at Walmart. All right, so that's a good deal. That's the way to make it happen. All right, we're at 97 likes. 97 likes, guys. That is looking good. We only need 3 more to hit 100. Can we hit 100 likes for the day? All right, so all I'm doing right now is just trying to position the boat based on the current. So the current is kind of blowing me around. It's kind of pushing us back away from where I want to cast. So I'm just coming around to the other side. So once I get set up and I hit my spot lock, I'll be posted up in the area. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that guy just did that. He just rode right on top of the area that I was going to fish. Just right here. Do you see how close this guy just came to me? Ah, man, don't you hate it? I ran all the way over here and get to the area that I wanted to fish, and somebody just rode right over where I was about to fish at. Who knows? Maybe it'll help out. Maybe it'll help. Texas Noob says he is at 98. Casey says, add me on Facebook. Oh, yeah. If you guys check the description, the link's in the description. Make sure you subscribe. I have my TikTok and I also have Instagram. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on both of those platforms and also on Facebook. So I will have to go and check my Facebook notifications to see who has recently hit me up on Facebook. $102 likes. We did it. We did it. We made it. All right, so let's see. What do you guys? Gave you guys a tour of the boat. I showed you the setups and lures and stuff like that I have on deck for today. What else did you guys? Did you have any other questions or anything? Like I said, I always try to make sure I bring up some value to you whenever you're out here supporting the channel. Man, this is going to be rough. I know you guys can hear the wind, right? Oh my goodness, look who we have back in the chat. Is that Tank? Is Tank back? Everybody say what's up to Tank. Who remembers Tank? What's going on, Tank? We have caught a good time out here today, so we haven't really caught anything yet. Today has been a day out here dodging, trying to get locations that I could fish and get out of the wind. So it's real windy out here today, and it's not really good for the live stream. So I've spent a lot of time focusing on that. So now I just pulled up to an area. Let me just show you guys what I'm looking at. So right here, there's some cover, and so there's some fish out there. So we're gonna fish that for a minute. Is anybody shouting out Tank? Tank is back. Does anybody remember Tank? Tank says, I'm back, bro. Much respect. Texas Noob says, really? All right, Herbert says, what kind of structure are you fishing now? So this is what I'm lined up on. So it's some cover out there. Those fish are kind of down in that cover. I want to be able to throw something and get those fish to come up on top. But I may be able to do it. But right now, with the way that the wind is blowing and everything, it would make it kind of tough to get that bite. Those fish are kind of settled in. They're not really moving around a lot, and they're not really up in the water column. Some of them are kind of sitting up high in the water column. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What's going on in the chat? Big Mike says, let's get the $25 Tank. Oh my goodness, everybody remembers Tank. Bass for him says, you owe money, $25. Henry says, where them $25 at? White caps out here coming up. I thought that was fish schooling. I was about to cast to it. Tank says, hey, I got you on payday. Hendrick says, paying back in viewing hours. Sounds good. Thursday, Tank says, if I owe you, post your cash app. Bill Meeks, let's see, Tank show me the money. Tank says, hey man, I'm broke right now. I'm gonna send it on Thursday. Why y'all beat me up, man? Herbert says, throw a jerkbait over that brush. Bass for him says, payday? You just had a payday. Tank said, hey man, I'm out here trying to live. I'm out here trying to make it. I'm trying to survive out here in these YouTube streets. All right, so the water calmed down a little bit, guys. All right, so I'm gonna make it. All right, so check it out. So these fish have already come out here, and they're out here toward kind of under the boat. So they may not bite. These fish on this lake are very finicky. And I don't know if I'd be able to get that jerkbait. I'm not real good on the jerkbait. And I'm not sure if I'd be able to get that cast and work that jerkbait over that brush pile the way that I need to. And if I don't do it correctly, it'll just pull those fish off of that cover. So, I mean, it's a possibility that jerkbait would work. But it's just, the thing is, the wind. The wind is not my friend in this situation. How does the audio sound? Are you guys able to hear the audio? All right, Tank says he's gonna send the $25 live on Thursday. How did Tank know I was gonna be back on Thursday? All right, Clint Perry says the audio is okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get these fish to cooperate right now. But what I can do, let's try another little trick. Let's change this worm up. Sometimes what these fish will do is I can get them to come and hit a drop shot. So we're gonna try that. I'm just gonna nose hook this drop shot. We're gonna throw it right into that cover. If we get a fish, may not be able to get him out, but hey. All right, need to make a 60-foot cast. And I think my cast was a little off. Yeah, my cast was definitely off. Let's get that back and redo that. All right, let's see if we can make it happen, Captain. Tank said, can I post my Cash App? I don't think that would be a good idea, Tank. All right, appreciate you for tuning in, Casey. Casey is heading out. All right, so we're out here targeting these fish with a drop shot. Jason says, are you on Lanier? Yes, sir, I am on Lanier. And as you can hear, it's pretty windy out here. Can you guys hear that wind? If you can hear that wind, type wind in the chat if you can hear that wind. Lake Lanier, out here hanging out in the wind. Jason said, MoneyBass is one of the best fishermen around. That depends on what you consider fishing. Well, I guess you didn't say the best catchers around. So yeah, I'm definitely good at fishing, huh? All right, let me show you guys what I'm fishing with right now. So right now what I'm doing is I'm targeting these fish right out there. There they go. You see those fish on the screen? So I'm trying to get a bait that can get those fish. Some of them are suspended. Some of them are kind of lower on the water column. So I'm throwing a drop shot out there. And I have a ½ ounce weight on there to get it down there fast and kind of hold it in place. And that's the worm that I'm throwing. It's on a swivel hook. So that hook kind of swivels around. This is on 8-pound fluorocarbon line. And you see this yellow braid that's on here, high-vis yellow braid. I think this is about 15 or 20-pound high-vis yellow on a Mach 2 lube spinning reel. And this is a 7-foot medium-heavy spinning rod. If you are looking for any discounted fishing products or anything like that, I always try to put something in the description for you guys. So make sure you always go and check out the links in the description. Big shout out to Big Mike. Big Mike, what does he have to say? He says support is what we need. All right, big shout out to Big Mike. Really, really appreciate the strong support of the channel. Jake says, do you live in Gwinnett County? Because I do. Oh yeah, Lake Lanier is in Gwinnett County. That's where we're at. Out here trying to make some things happen. Big shout out to Big Mike. We have boy with, what is that? Boy with, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's the goat. It says, I'm new to the channel. Well, welcome. You are very much welcome to come and tune in, check out and see what we're doing as we're out here trying to catch a few spotted bass. They don't always get out here and cooperate, but we still try to make some things happen. Tree says, what you need is fish. If you're fishing, what you need is fish. Can you make it happen? I don't know, but we're trying. We're trying. We're taking it slow. We're taking it nice and easy. Jake says, you only have 30 minutes left. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Am I on a timer again, guys? You know how I do under pressure. When I'm under pressure, I kind of make some things happen. All right, so 30 minutes. 30 minutes, guys. We got 30 minutes left. Jake, you're the timekeeper. So give me 30 minutes on the clock. Jason, you are correct. If I was to come back this afternoon, wait a few more hours and come back out here, that wind would be died down a little bit, and I'd be able to get out there and get those fish on top water a lot better. All right, there we go. Let's see if we can make something happen, guys. Tree says 30 minutes, hurry up. 29 minutes, catch a fish. Fishing pole, what fishing pole are you using? Oh man, I thought I may have had a bite, guys. This is a ducket fishing rod, 7 foot, medium heavy. Patricia said, what's going on, Patricia? She says, your reel handle is on the wrong side. No, I think my hands are just on the wrong side. My left hand is where my right hand should be. I need to swap my hands. Nope, I do not use a bobber for this type of fishing. We're going to try to get this right out there one more time at about 50 feet out, and then we're going to roll out to another spot. How many minutes do we have on the clock? Time is ticking. Who is the timekeeper? Jake, are you the timekeeper? All right, he said 26 minutes. All right, there we go. We got hung up, guys. Let's go up here and get this loose, and then we're going to move out to another spot. 25 minutes. The fish are waiting you out. They're laughing. They're laughing at me. That's what those bubbles are. See those bubbles on the lake? Is that the fish laughing at me? Like you thought you were gonna catch something, didn't you, MoneyBass? But not today. Not today. We're gonna win today. The fish said they're not gonna let me catch them today, guys. Oh man, the fish are laughing at me. All right, let's put this down. And let's just get out here with this swim bait as we're moving around and looking to see what type of action is going on out here on the lake. Just get that swim bait out there. How about that? All right, we are rolling. We're rolling, guys. Having a good time out here on the lake. Now check this setup up. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you something. This is an 8-foot tactical elite rod. 8 foot. Medium fast. Now this is what I throw my big swim baits on. But if you guys have been following the channel, you know that I have broke one rod a few days ago, and then a few weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a fish on. Well, I had made a cast, set my rod down for a quick second, and a fish grabbed it and yanked the whole rod, the bait, and everything, just gone. In a split second, didn't really have time to do anything. Tree said they don't want to be caught on that equipment. You need to put a little bit more money into that. Who wants to be caught on some cheap equipment? Tree said I would not bite that. All right, guys. Let's see what we're coming up on. Gonna see if we can make something happen, Captain. All right, we're going straight in for hand-to-hand combat. Let me get my drop shot back out. We're gonna pull up right on top of some of these fish and see if they want to cooperate. How about that? Clint said overboard $300. Yep, just like that. $300 gone. All right, let's see, guys. We're coming up on some action. Let's see if we can make it happen. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right here. Let's see if these fish want to play today. Just need one of them to come over here and talk to me on this drop shot. So right now we're over this cover right here. You can see it right there on the screen. Tree says 17 minutes left, but you can do overtime. Man, that time is going by kind of fast. Uh-oh, guys. There's some fish down. Okay, I got it back out. All right, we're in some action. There's some fish down there. All right, shout out to Two Stands. Says, let me give you a quick tip. If you're live on your phone and using your phone's mic, you can slide a foam curler from the Dollar Tree over the bottom of your phone for an awesome wind muff. All right, okay, good deal. We're looking good. We're having some fun, guys. Out here hanging out on a nice windy day. Can you guys hear the wind? I tried to hide from the wind today, which didn't end up working out. So I decided to come out here for maybe these last 30 minutes and fight in this wind for you guys to see if maybe the wind is where I need it to be, which I pretty much think it is. I generally, whenever the wind is up like this, I stay out in that wind. I don't run from it. But for these live streams, I have to figure out a way to make it happen for you. so there's fish down there, but they're like, nah, we don't think we like that flavor. So what we're gonna do is change this worm out. Oh. Uh-oh, guys. I'm caught on some fishing line. That's not good. The reason I know I'm caught on some fishing line is because when I tried to pull it up, let's see, what do I get back? All right, at least I got my line back with no sinker on it. So what can we do? Let's see. Yeah, I generally just stay out of the wind whenever whenever it's windy. But today, you know, I kind of took a poll in the chat. You guys wanted to head out into the wind, so I was like, all right, we can go out there and test it out. We can see what's happening with it. All right, let's make a move. All right, let's see, guys. Man. All right, Jake said there's 18 minutes left. All right, if I had to catch a fish with 18 minutes left, let's go over here and fish a rocky point. How about that? We got 18 minutes left. 18 minutes. All right, guys, next Tuesday, on Tuesday, not tomorrow, but next week, Tuesday, I will be in a tournament. I may stream that tournament live for you guys. If you want to see that tournament, if you want me to be live so you guys can check it out, type live in the chat. I just want to see how many people actually want to see that. And if you do, we got enough people that want to watch it, then I'll see what I can do about being live during that tournament. And really, what I would say is one of the main things you'll see is kind of the difference in the thought process, the different fishing techniques, as opposed to whenever I'm just out here like a day like today, just out here having a little fun, hanging out, trying a few different techniques. Out here in this wind, things will be a little different on tournament day. All right, so I'm getting a lot of live. Man, everybody's saying live. All right, so this is the thing though. If I'm live during a tournament, so today, you guys, if you notice, I do a lot more talking than fishing in a lot of instances whenever I am, let's see, what is this right here? I do a lot more talking than fishing, but on tournament days, it's gonna be a lot different. So I'll barely be doing any talking. So it may not be as fun for a lot of people whenever you tune in. You'll be able to see the tournament, but I won't be doing a lot of talking. All right, so I'm back out here on another windy point, guys. All right, so you guys want to see the live. So Tree says, where's the tournament? The tournament is going to be on Lake Lanier. I'll be fishing with some of the Bass Pro guys. Oh yeah, so on tournament day, things will be a lot different. So I'll be out here for a longer amount of time, and I will be focusing on catching fish as opposed to today where I'm trying to avoid the wind and all that kind of stuff. Tournament day, I won't be worried about any of that kind of stuff. It'll be strictly about catching fish. So last time, if you guys watched, it was a pretty good day. I think I had my big fish for the day was like 4 pounds, a little over 4 pounds. Jake says, you only got 15 minutes left. What you gonna do, MoneyBass? Can MoneyBass catch a fish in less than 14 minutes? All right, we're about to find out. Because what MoneyBass is about to do is, who was it that said jerkbait? Was that Don? All right, Don, so we're gonna put this drop shot up. We're gonna reach into the bag of tricks, but guess what I have to do, Don? In this weather, I'm gonna have to throw that jerk bait on a spinning rod, because if I try to cast this thing, I know you guys can hear that wind. If I try to cast a jerk bait with a bait caster into this wind, it would look like an instant bird's nest, and that is no fun. All right, so let's see. Digging through my bag of tricks looking for my jerk baits. Here they go. All right, so let's see. I need a jerk bait that these fish will want to come up and talk to. Let's see. Which jerk bait should I use? There we go. Let's go with this KVD jerk bait. Don says small size. Man, I'd love to throw a real small one. But the conditions, Don, it's rough out here. I know you guys can hear the wind, but when you feel it, it's a little bit of a different animal. All right, so this is what we'll do. All right, Don. Don says smaller. If I go smaller, Don, I won't even be able to cast the thing 20 feet away from the boat, even on a spinning rod, because of the wind. All right, Don. Here you go. This is a KVD, and this over here is a Spro. So which one do you want? Let's call this one Bone, and let's call this one Sexy Shad. Which one do you want, Don? Spro right here or Sexy Shad? Don Bark says, let me see. Bash for him, I agree with you. You said the heaviest one. Just bait smaller this time of year. Yeah, Don Bark said KVD. All right, so there we go. We're going with this KVD. And I think that one is a little bit heavier too. And remember, I have to throw this on a spinning rod because of the wind that's out here. All right, so you guys mark your calendars for next week on Tuesday. I will be live. But what we'll have to do is I need you guys to continue to get active in the chat, especially whenever I do something like that, because I will not be doing a lot of talking. So it may be kind of boring for you guys. All right, so we're going to ease in on these fish a little bit more. All right, and they're set up pretty good for a jerk bait. But like I said, the problem is going to be... All right, there they go. All right, here they go, guys. Do you see all those fish out there? All right, oh man. Yeah, even with that, I wasn't able to get too good of a cast. Yeah, I'm not able to get. Let me try it again. Yeah, this thing is only casting out probably about 50 or so feet, and I definitely need to get it out there farther than that. Man, the wind is brutal. Dakota says, where's the bait at? Yeah, all I need is kind of a break in the wind. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear the wind, but casting into this wind, I was able to get it out a little bit farther that time, but I'm still not able to get these cast out as far as what I need them to go. Set this to the side and wait for a break in the wind, because the wind is kind of coming in gusts. It's gusts of wind. So when that wind dies back down a little bit, I'll come back with the Jake said 9 minutes left. Oh no. 9 minutes left. On a time crunch. I'm coming across some rocks. Those rocks are feeling pretty good. Still waiting for a break in that wind, guys. I know you guys can hear the wind. If you can hear that wind, type wind in the chat. I just want to know if you guys can hear that wind. So that's why I'm not casting that jerkbait or anything just yet. I gotta wait for that wind to kind of die down. Caden says wind. Herbert says wind. Anybody else, can you hear that wind? D.L. Peck Fishing, what's going on, buddy? Kane says windy AF. Sarah says wind. Oh yeah, so you guys can feel my pain. I mean, those fish are lined up out there just perfect for a jerkbait bite, like Don Bartz was suggesting. But trying to get everything live for you guys and lined up right, it's not looking too good with this wind. The wind is not my friend right now. It's not cooperating. So right now I am throwing D.O. Peck says howling. Yeah, the wind is howling. But Jake gave me a countdown timer. He says I won't be able to catch a fish in how many minutes do I have left, Jake? But you guys know your partner MoneyBass likes some challenges. Sujan checking in from India. What is going on? Glad to have you in the chat. Jake says I only have 5 minutes. But I'm not worried, Jake. I'm not worried. can make it happen in 5 minutes. What's going on, Samuel? Jake said, I only have 5 minutes left to catch a bass. 5 minutes. Who thinks I can make it happen in 5 minutes? Yeah, buddy says, what bait is better to use this time of year? Fall season is good. Top water season for me, that's what I like. All right, in the chat, what baits do you guys suggest to use for fall, for this time of year, October baits? I know Don knows one of them is the fluke. The fluke is always a good one. Shaky head, you always want to have a shaky head ready. Be able to hit one with this shaky head, guys. You gotta have some faith. Jake says, throw that buzz bait. As for him says, bottom contact is important. So John says, India's time now is 10 p.m. It is 12:34 p.m. out here. And Jake says, I only have a few minutes left to see if I can make something happen. Craig says a football jig. What's going on, Craig? Craig tuning in. Craig wants to see me catch one of these spotted bass on Lake Lanier. Jake says you only got 3 minutes left, buddy. 3 minutes left. Okay, I gotta make the perfect cast with these 3 minutes left. Let's see, let's get a cast over there. I'm out here fishing Lake Lanier in Georgia. What kind of fish are you catching over there in India? What's going on, Sarah? Time is ticking. Time is ticking. Tree says 3 more casts. All you need is 3 more casts. Is that gonna be true? What's going on, Sour Lemon? Says you want a few tips. What kind of tips would you like? Jake says we have 1 minute left. Let me just check something real quick. With 1 minute left. All right, with 1 minute left, reel this one in and we're gonna make one last cast. Make it happen, Jake. this cash right here wins it all. Wins the $100,000 prize, wins the new house on the hill, brand new car. This is the cast that it all hinges on, guys. Can he make it happen? And was that cast a bad cast? I think that was a bad cast, guys. But we're gonna play it out anyway. What's going on, Darren? Darren says, what state are you in? I am in Georgia. Fruit City says, have you got anything yet? What I have got is a lot of time on the water today. A lot of great conversations, but no fish. But we're hoping to change that as Jake gives me the countdown. This was the last cast. And the last cast was a bad cast because the wind got a hold of it. But you never know. Jake says, time's up, only one more cast. All right, so Jake is giving me one more cast. One more cast, and we got to make it count. All right, there we go, Jake. That is the last cast, and the wind got it. So that was a bad cast. The wind did not allow my cast to go out to where I needed it to go. Oh, okay, wait a minute. It's out there. It's out there. All right, so this is the last cast, guys. Let me see. Tree says, we are now in overtime. All right, Jake gave me one last cast. All right, let's see if we can make it happen, guys. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to everybody that has taken the time to hit the channel with the super chats and super stickers today. I definitely appreciate that. It goes in long ways. If you guys see the videos that I put out showing whenever I go and get gas prices are no joke. So it all goes back to help the channel. So big shout out to Joe Winkler. Hit the channel with the $20 super chat. Really, really appreciate that. That made you the sponsor of today's live stream. All right, I'm fishing it slow, guys. I'm fishing it slow. I'm milking this last cast. Fish are not cooperating for the day. They're like, nah, MoneyBass, we're not gonna make it happen for you. All right, there we go. That was the last cast. Tree said we are officially in overtime, so I did not make the deadline. How about it? Now watch me catch one on the cast after Jake said my time is up. So I really would like to get that get some of those fish to come and get that jerk bait. The problem is just the wind is not allowing me to be able to make those casts. All right, people, really appreciate it. I know some of you had questions about the boat, so let me give you a quick tour of the boat once again for those that were interested. Hold on one second. All right, we're getting everything packed up. All right, so a boat tour. I am running a Nitro Z20. You guys see it right there, Nitro Z20. 20-foot boat. Up front, I'm running an Ultrex trolling motor. I have Mega Live right here. This Mega Live system, let me put it on the Mega 360. Let's let that run for a second. Mega Live, I'm running that up here on a 12-inch G4N Helix unit. I run my Mega Live, my mapping down here. You see that 360 image. Yeah, the 360 imaging is coming up right here. So you'll be able to see those rocks and all that good kind of stuff right there. That's on a Generation 2, a Gen 2 Helix 10-inch screen. All right, going to the back here, I'm running a Mercury Pro XS trolling motor. And I just recently put that leash on there. I know you guys probably can't see it, but we talked about that in one of the live streams. And I have two shallow water anchors. Those are Minn Kota Talons that I have back there. At the console, I have a 10-inch unit, and I run a 9-inch unit on this side. It just happens to be sitting over there in the seat instead of up here on the console. So that is a breakdown of the boat, guys. You see I have a few rods right here in the co-angler section, and then I keep 6 rods or so up here on the deck. Today I was rolling with 2 bait casters. Let's just go ahead and get these things set up. I was rolling with 2 bait casters, and what did I have? 4 spinning reels today. As you can hear, today was a windy day, but we will be back out here again. Is today Monday or Tuesday? I think today is Monday, right, guys? Somebody in the chat, let me know. What is today? Is today Monday? We're out here on Lake Lanier, Georgia. All right, just getting everything put back in place. You guys, I showed you the lures and everything that we were using. Okay, yes, it is Monday. We'll be back out here again tomorrow. Tomorrow, if it's windy like this again, I know a lot of you you guys like it whenever I show you things on the electronics. Some of you guys like it whenever we, go old school and go hit the docks and things like that. So if it's windy tomorrow, what I have on the deck today, we will change that out, and we will go shallow and kind of get out of the wind. We'll go back and fish coves and stuff like that. Change things up a little bit, just make it a little bit different. Still get out here and have some fun with it. All right, so make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out if you have not already hit it on the way in. Just getting everything put up and heading in for the day. Really, really appreciate you guys. Make sure that you have already marked your calendars for November 9th and 10th. There will be a live on the water battle of the anglers. There will be 8 anglers that you will be able to watch all at the same time on the screen. We'll be talking to each other, communicating with each other, and you will be able to see us live and in action. It'll be a great time, so make sure you guys tune in for that. I want to give another big shout out to Joe Winkler. He is the sponsor of today's live stream. Hit the channel with a $20 super chat. Really, really appreciate that. All right, there we go. We're lined up and ready to roll. So that's all she wrote. All right, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already subscribed. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Another nice, lovely day out here on the lake. Look at that sun shining nice and bright.